Oh, okay,
Yay.
we're live, yay!
Hey.
I don't know if anybody is here waiting, but my name is Lauren Mormino, and I am the owner of So Whatever Studio in Belleville, Illinois, and we are hosting the lovely Jess from So Many Creations.
Me. Sorry, I was supposed to fill in the blank and I didn't. I
No,
was
that's
checking
okay.
my YouTube. I was refreshing so I can see
Cute.
comments.
I
There
love
we
it.
go. Okay.
Hi, Jill. Hi,
Yes.
Cindy.
Hi, Jill. Oh, you see him too. Okay, so we
Oh,
got the same
good.
ones.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome. Well, I'll keep it open anyway, just because. And no, I don't want to take a survey. Thank you, though. Okay. Always trying to help me out, YouTube. I don't want a survey.
I love it.
All right. Awesome. There we
So
go.
we are here to talk about the class coming up May 4th and the 5th of this year.
Of next, no, not next month, May.
Yeah.
It's like it's almost April. So
Yeah.
yes. And I'm just gonna say this real quick because it's starting again. They're doing construction over my head. If you hear any weird noises, I'm really sorry. I have no idea what they're doing, but it's noisy and then quiet. So if you hear stuff, that's all that it is.
That's all it is. It's okay.
That's it. They're just making a kitchen,
Yeah. Okay, so we will have 2 projects that weekend. Just going to talk about it. You want to show us what we're working with?
So we're going to make a bag and a wallet in my class. So this is the Julia. I have some cork samples and then I have one that has fabric, but we're going to do all cork. So this is one that I made on the industrial at Lauren's. These are Lauren's pretty zipper pulls. I made that. And this is the one I'm actually carrying. So it's got my stuff in it.
Oh, even better.
That's mine. It's got all my stuff in there.
It.
I'm so glad they're pounding right now. So so this is the Julia crossbody. So this has a big open pocket on the front, and then it has these 2 fun zippered kind of hidden pockets. And this one's really tall, and then this one's kind of small here. And then inside, it doesn't have any pockets. It's just wide open. And I made all of these on my semi-industrial, my heavy duty machine. So I know that the industrials are going to have no problem with it whatsoever. This one has a little cotton. Yours are probably going to have the water resistant cotton that Lauren sells. I'm going to probably put that in the kits just so that there's not too much bulk here.
Yeah,
and that's we'll do a couple zippers. I'll show you some zipper tips. It has an adjustable handle. So that's going to be our Saturday project.
And these are all pre-cut kits.
All pre-cut. So I will bring extras. I always do. I have never gotten a complaint about my kits. Everybody is always happy with the options. I like to bring, I don't do like the same thing or like, a few of the same color. I do all different. So you'll have lots of choices. And if there's extras left over, you're always welcome to take some more home with you. We'll have more for sale.
Some to take home.
Purchase. I mean, you can take them home in exchange for money. So and then our second project on Sunday is going to be the Poppy wallet. So this one I also made when I was at Lauren's. This is kind of the simple version of it. This has the ID window, credit card pockets, has your money. And then this one, I will have snaps with me. This has the change pouch on the back and then a little snap tab. I was requested for a long time to do a men's wallet, and I don't know anything about men's style wallets. So my sister, who actually likes men's wallets better, hers was kind of like this with the little ID window. So I combined 2 things and I made the girlier version and the simple version.
Yeah.
So men and women if you want, or simple and snap. Whatever.
Really? Or yeah.
Yes. And this will all be pre-cut too. So we'll have 2 projects. You don't have to bring anything. You can just show up and sew. And I've mentioned this before, but as a non-industrial person, I need to mention it again. If you're thinking about taking one of these classes and you're like, but I don't know industrials, I didn't either. And I picked up on it within like half an hour. I felt comfortable.
Yeah.
And Lauren is there and Kathy is there and other people have worked on industrials. So don't let that stop you. They're actually just as easy to use as any machine. They just seem intimidating because they're big and they're fast.
Big. Yeah.
But they're just the same as all of your other machines.
Yeah. And then within the classroom, we have all kinds of different thread choices. We have scissors, snips, hole punches, rivet setters. Like you, when we say you literally don't have to bring anything, you could just like literally get off an airplane, show up to class and be like, I'm here.
Double stick tape.
Yeah.
If you forgot a piece of hardware for something you were working on, like depending on what class, I know you have an open sew coming up,
Mhm.
you can go shopping. Like there's everything that you need is there. I would say for me, I brought nothing because I wanted to just, I was trying to help out and see like, okay,
Yes.
does it need anything
What
here?
do you need?
I would probably next time just bring a couple of things because they're my personal items. You have that pair of scissors and stuff that like you just really like, but bringing nothing, I had no issues. And
Yeah.
we were there to kind of help you figure that all out. And I was like,
Right.
I can't think of anything. I was
You
like, it's
did it.
perfect.
You got it.
I was like, you got all of the stuff. So it was awesome.
Yeah. Within those days, we start class around 10 a.m. We usually have the studio open to everybody around 9:30, so you can shop if you want to without impeding on class time, get settled in, etc. And then lunch is provided. We don't ask what you want, so I apologize for that. We ask what Jess wants to serve you, and then we just have it there so that you can stop sewing, go eat, and then get back to sewing. And it's really nice to just not even think about it. The food is just there and you're like, "Oh, I guess I was kind of hungry. That's nice."
There's good options. There's
Yeah.
definitely good options. And even your kitchen is stocked. Like if somebody wants a cup of coffee, like
Yep.
you have literally thought out every single thing. Like it makes me feel kind of silly because I'm like, did I remember all these things in my own classroom?
Yours
But
is perfect too.
you did it. You took all that knowledge of teaching in different places and made sure that like all the bases were covered. So
Yes. For
yes.
all the
No
teachers.
question
We've
about that.
had is it 3 classes
Right.
now fully. And all of them have been so much fun. I love seeing all the different people that come in. We've had somebody return twice out of those 3.
That's awesome.
So that was pretty cool too. I was like, "All right, great." Um So yeah, it's just super fun. We I don't know if you know this, but we actually have a camera set up so that if you wanted to sew to show people what to do, you could do that and then it would be on the TV.
I saw that
For
whatever your last class was, it might have been with Erica. I
Yep,
saw a little snippet of that and I was like, oh, because we were talking about it, but it wasn't ready then.
yep,
So
yep.
that's very cool. Yeah.
It
I
is
don't teach like that. So like I'm kind of intrigued by it because I'm like,
oh,
I'm usually moving constantly, but I was like, that
right.
could be kind of fun for like certain steps to be like, let me show you. And you
Yes.
don't all have to gather around and watch.
Right. You can just look up. That was so much fun to watch. People were just like, "Oh, cool. Like it's another sewing tutorial. I love this."
It's like watching YouTube happening in person.
Yeah,
Like, that's
exactly.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm very excited about that. I wanna check that out. So
Yeah, and then we also have the ability to put the instructions on the screen so that we don't have to have printed out instructions. We can easily print in HQ if we need to, but like I found a lot of people had so much clutter around with like their instructions here and like what's going on there. So it's just really nice to just like, oh, there they are. Okay, let me keep going. What? Let me keep going.
it's probably the most high-tech place that I've ever taught. It's usually just like, "Go ahead, do your thing." Like, we might have a projector if you need one, and I'm like, "I don't know how to use that." So
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's very exciting. That works out really nicely because the Julia has printed instructions, which will also be in the kits. The
perfect.
Poppy does not because it's actually a free pattern. So that one might be fun to watch me sew. Kind of
Ooh,
get comfortable with everybody on day one and then maybe on day two. So just
yeah,
not all the details right now.
yeah. And that's what's kind of fun is depending on how the students learn best, we can easily quickly adapt within the classroom too. Like,
Exactly.
there were a couple days like we didn't use the microphone because not everybody could hear it like they could hear it easily, but it wasn't needed within the classroom space. It was more of a distraction. So I thought that was pretty cool
Yes.
as well.
I know Beth is watching and she already signed up. She might have been your first sign up. She's very excited. Elizabeth said it sounds like so much fun. It's going to be. You should come join us. It's going to be awesome.
Yes.
And I picked May because I generally never do anything in May. And I was like, the weather is good. Like it's not going to be crazy hot. I don't think we're going to need to worry about snow. And the St. Louis airport is big. There's plenty of flight options and it's not that far from you. And the hotels around there are great. So
Yeah.
definitely treat yourself.
Yes.
Have a little fun thing.
I think the hotel that we're going to be using is the Holiday Inn Express, and it's like right by Target, which
Nice.
is just across the street from the normal one. So it's still close to a Starbucks because there's the Starbucks in Target, or there's the standalone across the street, and then it's just a straight shot and a right and a left.
Yeah, it's very easy to get to, and you
Yeah.
know, it was a fun place. Like there was definitely plenty to eat and plenty to see. And if you want to make it into a full trip with your family, go to St. Louis and see things there before you go home. I know a couple people talked about that. I
Yeah.
never book that much time in, and I should.
I don't either.
You know, that's the weird thing about what we do. We go to fun places, and everyone's like, "Did you get to do all these things?" I'm like, "No, I was working."
Yeah, I barely saw the outside world. So no,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
I'm like, I saw anywhere between my hotel and wherever my destination was, and that was about it.
That was it. Maybe I got coffee and food, but
Yep.
maybe I just ordered in. I don't know. That is the nice thing about the studio space too, is there's so many windows, so like you don't feel isolated. You're not like, what time is it right now? Although we still don't have a clock in the room.
That's okay.
Maybe we should, but I think it's more fun to be like, what? It doesn't matter. It's so o'clock.
The other thing too is that because we were there, the last time I was there was December. So we all know how those days are.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that it was that dark out because your lighting is amazing in there.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you're not just like kind of, oh God, it's dark and now I can't see anything. So the lighting is really great. Honestly, I couldn't find anything. I felt like I was like, I'm trying to find something that you need, and there was nothing. So, and I'm sure you've acquired more things since I was there. I mean, it's been almost 4 months. So
Yeah, we actually we put up these like metal bins full of like scrap fabric. So if people want to test their machines or they want to cut another project, but they don't sorry, but they don't necessarily have enough money to like buy more stuff because getting there alone is so expensive. Like we've got stuff there that's still great for you to use and make something fun and new. So
and I'll bring some scraps if you are still new to cork, which still there are some people that still haven't sewn. I think this is a great weekend for you to get your feet wet with cork, you know, because the projects are not overly hard and you'll learn how easy it is to sew the cork and how nicely it goes through the industrials and really any machine that you have at home. So I think it's a good project for that. So that's why I picked 2 cork projects and tried to, you know, not get into interfacing and all that kind of stuff.
yeah.
So keep it
That
simple.
is the nice thing about cork. It's not a medium that I reach for a lot because I feel like it is so expensive, but like once you get the hang, you're like, "Oh, this is fine."
Exactly.
It's so worth it. Like how long have you been carrying your bag?
I've been carrying it since I made this one New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not careful. I'm like, my mom can destroy a bag like no one else. I'm not super careful, but I'm not as bad. I mean,
Yeah.
like my corners are kind of dirty, just from setting it down, but everything looks good. A couple little, I'll take my lighter to the handles every once in a while because you get that little bit of backing, but
Oh,
no,
yeah.
it holds up really nicely and it's lightweight. And I know that you carry vinyl and sell a lot of vinyl, and I love your vinyls. For me, I can't carry like a large vinyl bag because they're heavy.
Heavy.
Something
Yeah.
smaller. But
Yeah.
the things that we're gonna do, if you saw something at, you know, Mormino headquarters and you're like, oh, but it's vinyl, you could definitely translate it.
Yeah.
Cork and vinyl have that in common that you don't have to worry about the raw edges.
Yeah.
So the wallet has all raw edges all
Yeah.
the way along here. You can easily translate that into any of the vinyls. And you have domestic friendly. You have the lightweight.
Mhm.
So if you go home and you're like, but I don't have an industrial at home, that's totally
Yeah.
fine.
And
Yeah.
you'll also be bringing plenty of cork to
Mhm.
sell for people who might want to purchase some extra, which is fun, a little pop-up shop.
Yeah, I'm going to bring cork. There's no sense to me in bringing anything that you already have. If you want zippers and hardware and stuff, like go get that from next door because
Yeah.
literally we're connected. Classrooms right to the shopping. But I'll bring cork, and I have like for the poppy, I have templates. So if you wanted to cut one at home, and I'll bring that kind of stuff. But other than that, there's no sense in overlapping when we each have like our own things.
Yeah.
And as a teacher, it's so nice of you and generous of you to allow us to do that,
Oh,
because
yeah.
not everybody does.
Yeah. I have experienced that. And I'm like,
I don't know what you mean because I never have, but
yeah.
it's always been super easy. But it's, these are the kinds of things that you want to continue doing. Is not just because you're my friend, I mean, that's always a bonus, but because you're good to us as teachers. So
yeah. Yeah, because it's well deserved. You guys are doing all of the hard work. Like, can't, yeah. I was like, I can't even imagine.
I can't imagine what you business owners do.
Oh, Lord.
Terry made a poppy wallet in cork and gifted it. Oh, you do need to make more for sure. Yeah. I have to say, because I was kind of designing this after my sister's wallet, I was like, do you want one? Like, would you use it? And she said, absolutely. And my stepfather, who has never, in all of the years that I have known him and I have sewed, has never asked me for anything. And he was like, I like that wallet. So they both got him for Christmas. I've never made him anything. He's not that guy, I'm like, well, it's okay. But yeah, so they both have wallets.
I like that. I love that.
It makes me so happy.
Yeah. Is there a possibility that the kits could match at all? Like, I know you said you do like one of each, but like, would you cut the Julia bag out and match the poppy wallet? Or
yes, yeah, I will make sure that there's some options. So if you are a matchy kind of bag maker and you want the exact same cork, I'll make sure that we have that. And then they'll have some other options that if you don't want it to totally match. My bags never match, mostly because I use my own samples, but also I'm not a matchy person. I thought I was, and then I realized it's not my thing. So I'll try to cater to everybody in that respect. And people are always so friendly that, if you see something you really want, someone's not going to fight you over it.
Right, exactly. So how long have you been teaching?
This makes me kind of cringe when I say it because it feels weird. I've been teaching for 18 years. I have been teaching longer than I've written patterns, longer than I've had cork. It was the thing that I did first because I made bags and sold them. And I was in a quilt guild and they didn't know anything about bag making. They're like, can you start teaching? And so then I just kind of started teaching locally and then started writing patterns. So it's really weird, but yeah, this is my 18th year of teaching.
That's amazing.
It just sounds so crazy.
You started when you were 10. That's so crazy.
I know. I just turned 10. It was so crazy. And I was like, I got this. Like, I can do it.
You can do this. Right.
It's my favorite thing to do because, and I'm sure you've experienced this when you're teaching, watching somebody get it and watching somebody be so proud of themselves. Like, you can't beat that. No. It's just so exciting when someone's like, I made this by Myself, or they come up to you and they're like, you taught me how to do this. And it just feels so good. It feels so warm and fuzzy inside because you're like, oh, and they remember you. When they've had a great teacher, they never forget you. And they're like, I took a class with you, and they'll throw out the name of a shop. I'm like, I think I taught there 10 years ago. How do you even remember that? Like, it's such a cool thing.
It's such an impact. Yeah. That is definitely one of my favorite parts about the classroom space too, is we have some students with different, I don't want to say learning disabilities or anything like that, but like, they're just a little neurodivergent, and sometimes things don't click the first time, or they just need a little extra help. And we have the ability to do that within the classroom. And like, I've made sure that the teachers we bring in understand those things and like not treat it any differently, but just like, take that extra time to really help somebody get it, because that's what we're there for. We're here for you to learn and, leave with a finished product.
Exactly.
And
for me, I want you to leave with something finished, but that's never my goal. And I make that pretty clear from the beginning, because people come in and they're so nervous. And I don't know why, because I don't take a lot of classes, but people get themselves really worked up because it's not their space. They don't know the teacher. Maybe they're overwhelmed because, oh my God, it's Lauren. Like, you don't know what they're thinking. Yeah. And you don't do your best sewing in class because you're just not in your environment. And I want you to, it's okay. Like, don't worry if you don't finish. Don't worry if I repeat myself 10 times, and it's always that student that's like, I'm sorry, I keep bothering you. I'm like, that's my job. Like, that's
Yeah.
literally why I'm here. I will never, ever be mad about repeating myself. And if you leave
Yes.
and that bag's not finished, you have videos to watch, you have my contact information, and all I care is that you have fun. And I
Yes.
usually will tell them in the beginning just to get everyone kind of, I'm like, listen, I have rules in my class. And they get all like, oh no. And I'm like, you must have fun. You will be asked to leave. And then they're like, oh, okay, she's not going to yell at us. And I'm like, absolutely not. Like,
As long as you don't yell at me, I won't yell at you.
you don't yell at me, I won't yell at you. You yell at me, we might have to throw down, but
Yeah.
it's all right. No,
Yeah.
people are, I mean, for the most part, yeah, it happens. Sometimes you get a bad apple, but people are just, they're enjoying it because they're doing something they love and
Yeah.
learning from somebody that they know or somebody new, learning a new technique. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun. I love teaching.
It's so good. I love teaching. I really do. I'm just so tired lately that I love helping teach. I'm in the room and I'm just like, go girl, yeah, get it.
I totally get that. I've helped probably more in the past 2 years than I have ever, because it's
Yeah.
just one of those things, like, I never asked for help, so I just assume no one else wants help. And helping at, like, some of the, like, the events and stuff that we've done,
Yeah.
it's really fun to watch other people teach and to
Mhm.
see, like, their techniques and their things, like, everyone has like a word that they use or
Yeah.
like a way that they approach things, and it's fun. It's nice to step back and to say, I don't know the answer to that. I'll get it for you, but I
Yes.
don't know the answer because I didn't
Yeah.
have to know it.
Yes, exactly. Like, and
Sometimes
I
that's
don't
fun.
want to overstep the teacher, so let me figure that out.
Exactly. And a lot of us we have a good dynamic with each other where it's never like stepping on toes,
Yeah.
but it's your classroom. I will go and ask the teacher. I will find out. Like, I don't want to be like, well, this is what I would do.
Yeah.
I don't want
Yeah.
to be that person.
No, that's never a fun thing to be.
No.
No. Speaking of other teaching scenarios, what else do you have coming up that you're teaching at?
I after I come and visit you, I'm going
Yeah.
to see my friends in Paducah at English Sew and Back. So Kentucky is sort of on the way home-ish. So I'm going to visit them the week after. I forget the dates exactly. It's like Tuesday and Wednesday, I think. And then I am teaching on the So Magical cruise going to Alaska, which is
Beautiful.
something I've dreamed about doing forever. I can't believe I'm going to Alaska. So that's going to be super exciting.
Yes.
And I'm only teaching one class. I mean, only because of the way that it's structured.
Yeah.
That's going to be super fun. And I think, pretty sure there's still a few spots open.
Yeah.
If that's something you're interested in. And myself and Emma from Studio 7T7, not
Yes.
the number 7T7, is
Yes.
also teaching. And she is from England.
Yeah,
I've
she's
never
totally
met
cool.
her. I'm
Yeah,
really
I haven't either.
excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
She
then
seems like good people.
she seems really cool. So I'm excited. And there's a bunch of stops along Alaska and Canada. So it's a vacation and and classes. So it'll be very cool. Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm excited for that.
The best of both worlds.
Yes. Yeah. Something I'm not really good at doing, like doing the relaxing vacation stuff, but I'm gonna go to Alaska. I have to.
Yeah, you gotta do it. Were you doing any of the expos this year? Some magical expos?
I'm doing both. I will
Okay.
do Tennessee and of course, yes. They just seem so far away at the moment that I forget. But yes, I will be doing Tennessee and Orlando. And as far as I know, I am teaching at both and I'm bending at both. I know I'm teaching in Tennessee. My class is sold out, which is super exciting. And I think I'm teaching the same class in Orlando. So yes, I will be there.
That is awesome. Okay.
And you're teaching in Tennessee, right?
Yes, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And bending.
And bending, yes. I'm still on the fence about Florida because we are so tired.
Yes. Yes. That goes without saying.
I'm like, it's really hitting me lately, like with all of the things going on in life right now. And I'm just like, whew, I don't know if I can do that one. I think I need to look after myself.
Sometimes people in the world forget, but also we also forget that we are human beings with families and we have to do our thing. And you have a child and I have 2 dogs and like we have, just things we just have a lot of stuff going on. So
Yeah.
it's so easy to overwhelm yourself. And because you don't want to tell anyone no and you want to make
Yeah.
everybody happy, but when you don't make you happy, that's hard. So
And it's
yeah,
hard 'cause,
it's
like, within that, it makes us happy, but we're like, "Oh, but we're so tired."
you get home and you're just like, oh my God, I'm so tired. Like, I already know I'm going to teach at your shop and then teach the next week. I'm like, I already know I'm going to wipe myself out, but you take that opportunity and then I will go home the next week and sleep and just like try to chill out a little bit,
Yeah.
because it's just a lot. It's a lot to juggle all of that at once. And it
Yeah.
always seems that when you're busy in your business, then your personal life's like, hold on, I got more stuff for you. I have more things for you to worry about. And it's like, no.
Truly, truly. It's wonderful.
Nancy said we're both excellent instructors. Thank you, Nancy.
Thanks, Nancy. Wow.
I agree. I also think that we're both so different in our teaching methods and like our YouTube channels and stuff that it's just very interesting. We have a very fun friendship for all of you that don't know that because we have so much in common, but we're so different as
Yeah.
people and like, oh, I didn't know you did that or like, oh, that's a cool thing. So,
Yeah.
yes, that's what makes it work,
Yeah, I think that's been my favorite part about teaching and doing all the events is, like, for so long, I was just down here in my basement sewing, teaching on YouTube, and then I go to these places and I'm like, "You're a real person too. Oh my god." And like, "What? We like the same stuff. This is the best."
This is such a weird thing, but my favorite thing, my absolute favorite thing when I meet somebody for the first time is to see how tall they are because it's the one thing you can't get perspective of when you're online and I'm like, "Oh wow, you're really tall," or "Oh, you're so tiny." That
Yeah,
was how I felt when I met Kayla for the first time. I was like, "Oh, she's so itty bitty. Like she's an itty bitty little person." And
yeah,
it's just so funny. And it's just such a weird thing. It's who I am. But I'm
yeah,
like, "Oh, that's how tall you are."
yeah.
Okay.
That's And, like, when I first met her, I definitely saw her as very short, but, like, the more I have known her over the years, like, she doesn't seem short to me anymore because she's just got such a presence and,
Yes.
like, she's so large in my heart, you know, and does that make
Yes.
sense? Like, she's a
Yeah.
big part of my life, so I'm like, "You're so tall." Like, I don't even notice. Yeah. So
Yeah,
weird.
it's such a funny thing because it's just, I can hear your voice and see your face and, and see you here, but when I see you in person, it's totally different. It's
Yeah,
like, oh, you're a hugger. Oh,
yeah,
you're short, like it's all those little things that you don't know on YouTube. And
right.
I think that's why people gravitate towards people so much because they do see all that personality and all that. And so when you're not the same person, that's when they're a little sad panda
Yeah,
about it because it's like, oh, but
okay.
you
Yeah,
are very much the exact same person that you are online. There's
yeah.
no like, oh, it was all good.
Yeah, same to you for sure. Like if you enjoy Jess's videos, you're gonna love the class. Like I'm trying to remember like peeking in and you said something and the whole class just laughed and I was like, this
I
is what
remember, and I don't remember what it was, but I just looked up and Lauren's in my doorway just nodding at me and then just like leaves.
yeah, yes, that was great. I loved it. Yeah, that's again my favorite part about going to the classes and stuff is just like heckling, just peeking in and making a joke and then like
100%.
leaving. It's great.
And you get to do it anytime you want to because it's your classroom.
Yeah,
Like, how
exactly.
awesome
It's
is
like,
that?
yeah. Okay, well, we'll let anybody ask questions really quick. We'll hop off in a minute or two. But just a recap, May 4th through the 5th of 2024, classes are on sale now. The cost of the class is $290. That includes 2 lunches,
Mhm.
2 pre-cut projects. You're gonna get everything you need to make the bag, along with some
Access to
wonderful
the classroom,
experiences. Yeah,
everything. So
yeah.
it's just really your travel expenses. And if
Mhm.
you come with a friend or you bring your spouse or whatever, you make them
Yep,
pay for it.
exactly.
Tell them it's a present.
Look at what I can make. Look at all this cool stuff I can make. Oh,
Listen, Mother's Day is coming up, birthdays, you just throw it in there. You're like, listen, you need to buy me a present and I want to go take a class,
yes.
you know,
Or go on a cruise,
or go
whichever.
on a cruise or
Yeah,
go on both. Like, listen, I will never get tired of you if you want to come to all of the things.
yeah. That is one of my favorite things too, is just, like, seeing people come back and you get to have fun with them all over again. I know Melissa commented up here. She said, I'm always like, oh my God, it's Lauren. And I wanted to be like, well, I'm always like, oh my God, it's Melissa. Like, we get just as excited seeing the same people return again and again because they want to have fun, not because they didn't learn enough the first time.
Well, because I think they enjoyed it so much that they're like, I don't want to miss out now. Like that was so much fun that I want to do it again and again. And that's how New Orleans was last weekend. There was only one person that we didn't know, but it was like she knew all of us from day one. Like she fit right in. And I was like, oh, cool. You know, it's comfortable.
Yeah. Beth asked how soon will the accommodations be available? So the hotel that we normally use did not have any availability for this weekend. So I am working to get another hotel that's just within the same area. So I'm hoping in the next week and a half to 2 weeks max, we will get those links sent out to you. I am definitely working on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's so many hotels around that like I have no doubt that it'll be fine. And they're all really nice hotels. So
yeah.
Just a matter of getting everything buttoned up, but
yeah, absolutely. Do you have any other tidbits of information to give or?
So many tidbits, but I will hold off on those.
You gotta come to the class to get them.
I mean, maybe I'll come teach again. Who knows?
Kathy, I would say that this class is definitely like geared towards beginners. We're going to take it step by step. We have 2 extra helpers in the room. So even if you really need someone to be there to hold your hand, like we have that ability so that Jess can continue teaching the rest of the class and we can assist you. Not necessarily hold your hand the entire time, but be like, okay, you got this. I'm going to continue, you know, that kind of a thing. But I think you would enjoy Jess's class a heck of a lot.
I would say from my point of view that both of these projects are definitely beginner friendly. And especially because you have me there and then you have people helping you with the machines. The only thing you have to focus on is listening to the step that I tell you. And again, if I have to say it over and over again, we're sewing straight seams. We're doing really simple things. If you've never, ever, ever made a bag before, I'll teach you the terminology, you know, like what does it mean when you say boxing a corner or making a handle? Anything is achievable if it's what you want to do. So don't feel like you have to have like, like 101. Like we'll get you there and you'll walk away and go, man, I did a good job. I made that. So
absolutely.
Hi, Dee. I just spent the whole weekend with Dee.
I love her so much.
She's so sweet.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and end this now. We don't want it to be too long for anybody who wants to rewatch, but thank you to everybody who hung out with us for a little bit this morning. You have a live tomorrow morning or not tomorrow morning?
Yep. Tomorrow at 11, our recap of all things and maybe some new stuff.
I love watching for the new products. Like, what you got?
What'd you get?
What do you have? I don't need to buy it right now, but eventually I might.
But I might want that.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, Jess. I love you. And I get to see you so soon. I'm so excited.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.